In today's video, we're talking about the photography umbrella. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about photography umbrellas, and it's a little bit of an unscripted video and a very basic video as well, because I wanted to cover off what this is for. And if you've been in photography for a little while, you probably do. But I know that when I first started in the beginning, it wasn't really explained as to why, what these were and what they were used for. And it took me a while to actually learn that. But so if you don't know what these are, then keep watching, because I'm going to go through all of it now. But essentially what an umbrella is, it's a way to diffuse light when you're lighting a subject. And the reason why you want to diffuse light is because, well, you can have two types of light. You can have hard light and you can have soft light. And depending on what you want to photograph, that you then get to decide what sort of light you want for that subject. Typically speaking, if you're photographing people, you're going to want soft light. The difference between soft light and hard light is hard light, like the sun on a sunny day, it's going to cast a shadow that is very well defined and can look really cool for certain things. But for people, because people, the skin is imperfect, and if you've got someone that has, let's say, that has a lot of pimples, then what's going to happen if you light them with hard light, then that pimple is going to create a very tiny shadow on the face, making the pimple look bigger, for example. So if you've got imperfections in the skin, then it's just going to enhance those imperfections and make them bigger. So typically that is not as flattering as soft light, where like on a cloudy day, the shadows are not as defined. So it tends to, because the light's coming from different directions, on a sunny day, the sun is your source of light, but on a cloudy day, the clouds are between the sun's illuminating the clouds, and then the clouds themselves is diffusing the light, and the clouds are then lighting your subject. And that is, generally speaking, more pleasing for a portrait. So if you're trying to do that with artificial light, you will use something like an umbrella, right? So there's different types of umbrellas. This is what you call a shoot-through umbrella, and that is where you mount this onto a light, and then what you're doing is you've got the light back at this end, and the light is shooting into the umbrella. And then what happens is that because this material is translucent, the light will continue to flow through this side here, but it's illuminating the whole thing. So the light itself is actually lighting up the inside of the umbrella. Then all of this glows, so to speak, and that glow then is what illuminates your light. You lose a little bit of light because some of it will go through, some of it will bounce back, but you, generally speaking, you can just turn up your light and compensate for that. So that's the shoot-through umbrella. This is the more traditional type of umbrella, where it's not translucent, so you cannot see through this material. And so what happens is in here is you mount the umbrella in exactly the same way. So the light is here shooting into the umbrella, and then it lights up the whole inside of the umbrella, and then that light is reflected back onto the subject. It's quite effective. And so that's just a different type of umbrella to use. Now, if I'm photographing portraits, I don't like to use this umbrella in this manner, because the idea of soft light is to get the light source as close to your subject as possible. And you've got this rod in here, so it can be a little bit, it can be dangerous also, because you can poke an eye in there as well, in there. And I can't get the light in as close as possible without having this rod in the frame. So that's why for portraits, it's much better to use the shoot-through umbrella, because then you can just mount your light in here, you turn it around, and then you can get this really close to your frame. I'll show you. You can get it very close to your subject, beg your pardon, and it's just out of frame, but the light is really just it's like a foot away from me, so it's very, very large and it'll be very, very soft. That's why I like umbrellas. I mean, you don't have to use umbrellas. You can use things like softboxes. You can see there's a softbox behind me there. But whilst softboxes are very good, they do take a while to set up sometimes. And also they can be a lot more expensive. They typically are more expensive. costing hundreds and even thousands of dollars for some of the big octoboxes, for example. Now with these ones here, the benefits of these is that these are very affordable. So you don't have to get like really good quality umbrellas. You can just get like regular eBay one or Amazon ones. You can pick these up for like 10 bucks sometimes. If you're interested in that, I'll put some links in the description. But I mean, I've had this one for I think 2-3 years, and I think I paid like $10 for it. So you can get some more brand name ones as well. They're a lot more expensive, and it's just you're basically just paying for the build quality. So the advantages also is that these are very easy to pack. You can throw this in a light stand. I mean, this one's very, very small. You can put this in a suitcase if you're traveling overseas as well, and you have a method of diffusing light, and very, very easy to set up. So you've done that and it's ready to go. They make brackets for these as well that you can put a speed light. So if you're traveling light, there's no reason to not have diffuse light. Again, I'll put some links in the notes if you want to have a look at the brackets and the ones that I use. The disadvantage with these is obviously they won't last as long typically as a softbox, because the frame it's that of an umbrella, right? It's for the same reasons that a regular umbrella, like a rain umbrella, doesn't last you a lifetime sometimes, right? So that's one disadvantage. The other one is if you're using this outside, you have to secure your light stand very, very well, because essentially what you've set up is a sail, and if you get a little bit of a gust of wind, it will knock over your lights. But usually you just weigh it down with something, or you get someone to hold on to the stand, and you're sorted. But that's it. That's what an umbrella does. I'll show you some photos of why you would want to use diffuse light. So if you just use a bare bulb light, then you're going to get a very hard light, as you can see in here. But if you then diffuse it just by putting an umbrella on, you'll notice that the shadows are not as defined now, and everything just sort of looks a little bit softer. The other thing to remember is that with umbrellas, you're going to get a round catch light, I guess, which sometimes can look really nice for portraits, but maybe not for portraits, maybe not for product. So if you typically, when you're shooting product, you want to go for the square softbox look. But for portraits, the round catch light is typically more pleasing. So that's it. That's you now know everything you know about umbrellas. Hopefully this is something that's helped you if you weren't really sure what these were used for. So if you did like this video, I'd appreciate it if you could just click on the like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the type of content that I make. So if you're interested in these sort of things, please consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be great to have you as part of the group. And that's it from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.